I'm delighted to welcome you. So as usual, we have a nice mixed group tonight. So we have our returned fellows who are going to talk about their experiences. We've got some people who make the programme work. We've got our team here, which consists of myself, Fleur, as the programme lead. We've got some mentors in the congregation, I was going to say, in the audience. Which is nice, and we've got some people who are involved in the team. We've got some people who've come along to find out more about the programme. We've got some people who've been offered placements and are waiting to go, so to find out. And we've got one or two friends of the system. And we've got Caroline Chipperfield from the Thames Valley and Wessex Leadership Academy, who is here as this programme is one of the programmes that fits within the Thames Valley and Wessex Leadership Academy scheme of leadership development programmes. Just a bit of background, this programme was developed, or we developed this programme back in 2007-2008, and the reason we developed it was because there were a number of key things going on at the time. Nigel Crisp had just done a world tour as he was coming to the end of his time as chief exec of the NHS, and he wrote a really important paper called Global Health Partnerships, in which he made a really strong case that good healthcare systems across the world benefited everyone, including the developed world. It did us no good at all to be part of a world where there was poor health in some parts of the world. So it was really important that everywhere had it. And he made a very good case for the partnership that countries with a functioning and well-structured health system should work and partner with countries that didn't have that resource. He wrote this report. The government of the day wrote a response called Health is Global, an Outcomes Framework, in which they took up his challenge and recognised that actually supporting staff, particularly in the NHS, to help and work with partners overseas was a good thing for everyone. And they developed a framework within which that could be delivered. And as a part of that time, in South Central SHA, Strategic Health Authority, which is where we were at the time, which is our base, we were thinking of new ways to develop leadership skills among the workforce in South Central. And so that gave us a really nice hook to hang our work on. And thus the IGH programme, as it's known, was born. The aims of the programme are threefold, and they're all equal, they're all equally important. One is that we support the delivery of sustainable healthcare project work in the partner country. So we don't go there and do work that we think is what they need. It's all work done that the country wants done, and our fellows stroke volunteers help to deliver that. Those people who go and volunteer get a wonderful opportunity to develop personally and professionally through using the skills that they need to do that work. And then when they come back to the NHS, they're able to put those skills into practice. And so the NHS benefits by having people with those skills back working, delivering healthcare in the UK. So it's one of those really nice virtual circles. We operate always with a partner organisation in the country, so we don't go in and create our own work or our own work programmes. We always operate with a partner. And the purpose of the partnership is so that our fellows stroke volunteers go and work in with an organisation. So some of those issues about safety and security and networks have got a base to build on. And we know that we're adding to a programme so that people are doing work that has been agreed and that is wanted to be done, so that we link in again with departments of health and with strategies, so that we're not going in and being unhelpful but enthusiastic with the things that we do. Our current list of partners is quite diverse and covers quite a few parts of the world. So we've got the MJP Foundation in Cambodia, and that was our first partnership, and we've continued to work with them since 2008. We've got a Department of Health partnership in the Western Cape of South Africa, and that's in two sites, one in an urban area in and around Cape Town, and we'll hear some of people's experiences there tonight, and one is in a rural town called George. We've got a partnership with the Eastern Cape, Department of Health of the Eastern Cape in South Africa, and that's fairly new. The first fellow volunteers went out there in August. We've got a partnership with the County Department of Health in Kisumu, Kenya, And we've got a partnership which is still very fledgling. The first fellows have yet to go out, but it's all agreed in principle, and that is with an NGO in Myanmar / Burma, the Brighter Futures Foundation, that hopefully people will be going out to in the spring and starting off that work there. The fellowship programme has 4 phases. The first phase is to be recruited, and you'll know if you've been through it that there is a fairly robust process where you fill in an application form, you then might be shortlisted for interview, and once you are selected or recruited, you then complete some pre-placement preparation and training. To be eligible, you have to be an employee with the NHS or delivering NHS care. You can be of any tribe or profession or any background, and we pride ourselves on the fact that this is a multi-professional programme. So your professional background is important because it's part of who you are, but it doesn't matter to us, if you see what I mean. We're very welcoming of all backgrounds. Before you go, if you're offered a placement, you have to spend about 5 days in pre-placement learning, and that includes some induction, it includes a leadership development programme, and it includes a meeting with your mentor, that mentor is a key part of your learning through your experience on the IGH programme. You then complete 6 months or thereabouts placement overseas, and during that time you work with the partner and you work on a project which is all chosen and agreed and negotiated with the partner, so it's work they want done, and then you write project plans, which is obviously the high point of the experience. You write project reports and send us back loads of information about the work that you're doing. When you finish the placement, there's more paperwork to do and meeting with your UK mentor. And the purpose of that is so that we've got some evidence to show the learning and the experience that you've had, and some evidence to show the work that you did. You may be familiar with, many people think these experiences are a kind of holiday. And if you've been involved in our programme, you'll realise they're not a kind of holiday at all, unless you're used to very unusual holidays. These are hard work, you work hard, they're very stretching, and very, very developmental, which is the point of them. On the placement, you carry out project work. We use quality improvement methods, again, which is a really useful skill to you when you come back to the UK, the ability to plan a project and to use quality improvement methods, and it's all around building capacity in the system and system development in the overseas country. So you do not provide any direct clinical care. That is not what this is about. It's a different type of experience. The project work that people work on is all around helping to deliver the Millennium Development Goals, which are worldwide goals that the whole world signed up to be achieved until 2015. And the 3 health goals are those, and each country has their own version of the Millennium Development Goals and targets for their country. As part of the development, we use the NHS healthcare leadership model, and that's a behavioural model with behaviours clustered around those dimensions. And again, they're very day-to-day, so these can be applied if you're very senior in an organisation. They can also be applied to you as a person, just behaving as a person among wherever you're working. So they are not, sometimes people think leadership is all about people in senior positions. It's about personal leadership and just day-to-day how you are and how you behave. And often those principles can be applied to that at very local level or at system or organisational level. So it's quite a versatile programme, versatile model. So the kind of education model we use for this programme is very experiential action learning. So it isn't formal sort of curriculum where you've got to learn lots of facts and figures. It's very experiential and action, and using reflection as a tool to help you recognise and evidence the learning that you've got throughout the process. These are a couple of quotes from returned fellows in terms of their reflecting back what they think they've learned from the experience. Wonderful quotes. I now have a greater appreciation of people's individual perspectives and beliefs, which I realise is core to engaging with others and building relationships with them. If you can get that kind of insight into how to work with people you'll do well, won't you, if you're able to put that into practice. And then another one, my IGH placement made me believe that good ideas can come from anyone, wherever you are in the food chain. And again, I think if you're able to grab hold of that learning and put that into practice, really helpful for you, wherever, in your family, in your work, wherever you are in your life, that's really useful. The scheme is funded a number of ways. For the first, in early years, we were funded through the NHS, solely at the time. For the first 5 years, through a grant, because of the leadership development skills that people learned, that the volunteers learned. Since then, we won through hard work. We were awarded a grant that part funds the programme, and the grant is a national grant, which is it's a scheme that's funded by the Department for International Development in the UK, administered via an organisation called the Tropical Health Education Trust, and called the Health Partnership Scheme. And all of that doesn't really matter. The fact is they gave us the money for 2 years, which has been really helpful. And it's enabled us to recruit people from outside of our patch, because earlier we could only recruit people from within the Thames Valley and Wessex areas, because that's where the funding came from. So with this national grant, we've been able to recruit people from all over the UK. And we've got some people here who are eligible because of that grant, which is great.